Hey everybody, William Brown back again, and I shot this video once. I had to dispose of it because basically it was crap. I wanted to redo it so I could make my point just a little bit better. Here a couple of weeks ago, Ted Cruz gave a speech in front of the Texas Public Policy Board. Now, one thing to keep in mind about this group of people here, these are not Republicans like me or you. They're definitely not liberty-minded individuals. These are more like the Harold, have the Negro fetch my Bentley type Republicans. So keep that in mind. Okay, Cruz has basically been getting crucified behind these comments that he made that the left-wing media has jumped on. Is Ted Cruz says people who smoke pot deserve to be in jail. People who smoke pot need to be in prison. Yada, 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 yada. Well, you know, it's like the old saying goes, make hay while the sun shines, right? The lefties are certainly making hay off of this. Now, hold up, let me get my liquid fortification here. Now, one thing to keep in mind, okay, I got up this morning, well, actually that morning a couple of weeks ago, and one person had already posted it on my Facebook timeline. What's up with this, man? And then I got it in a private message from another person, and then from another person. And I told all three of them, you know, at the time, I clicked on the link and went and checked out the article, right? And I was thinking, well, it's kind of funny that Ted Cruz brings up legalization in front of these people. I'm wondering if maybe it was kind of like a Trojan horse type thing. So I told him, well, you know, the truth is I was pretty fucked up by it too. I clicked on the link, went and read the article, but I did not watch the video. This is where I'm fucked up, just like a whole lot of other people fucked up. Like everybody else, I clicked on the link to go see the video. The video is 27 minutes long, and you'll notice at no point do they ever specify that he makes these comments at the 7-minute mark or the 13:47 mark or whatever. They don't tell you where the comments are made. They just tell you that these comments were made, that Ted Cruz said people who smoke pot deserve to be in prison. That's the narrative they're trying to establish from these comments that Cruz made. Okay, so like so many other people, I'll admit, I was butthurt. Butthurt is not the word for it, actually, because I stood on the side of the road in 115-degree heat with a fucking Ted Cruz sign, and for him to say some shit like this, I was fucking pissed. Man, let me tell you, I was fucking livid. But I had not watched the video. So I went and talked to a bud of mine who is the ex-national chairman for the Republican Liberty Caucus, and I asked him his take on it, and he said, yeah, don't read too much into it. Now, I had told these people that sent me the video that, you know, like I said, I thought it was kind of funny that Ted Cruz brings up legalizing marijuana in front of this crowd in particular. So I'm kind of wondering, you know, well, you know, maybe he was trying to work it on the cool, right? Okay, so anyways, I get ready to shoot this video, and I actually go and watch the entire speech. And I can tell you, it was all of it taken out of context. All of it. Before he makes those comments, which occur at the 7-minute mark, runs to about the 8-minute mark. Before he made those comments, he was talking about Barack Obama giving blanket amnesty to illegal aliens. After he made that comment, those comments, he was talking about Barack Obama's unilateral executive orders or whatever regarding Obamacare. And then in the middle of this was the Barack Obama is not enforcing federal marijuana laws. The topic of conversation was not marijuana. First and foremost, understand this. This is very important. The topic of conversation is that Barack Obama is basically being a dictator. He is choosing what laws to enforce and what laws to not enforce. Now, this is where we kind of all got caught up in our own hypocrisy or our own bullshit, and that's why it hurts so much to admit it. Ted Cruz is right. To have a nation of law, laws are what basically keep us from tearing each other to shreds, because that's what we are as a species. We're a fucked up species. We'll gladly rip each other to pieces for about half a reason. That's why we have laws, and it's important to establish a nation of laws. So you have, you know, civilization. When you have a nation of laws, you have civilization. when you have a guy who decides what laws he will enforce and what laws he won't enforce, that is a dictator. And Ted Cruz is absolutely fucking right. It does not matter if this dictator is giving you something you want. For instance, if Barack Obama signed an executive order, from here on out, I'm going to pay William Brown $1 million a year to be my official bass fisherman, to go catch bass for me, because me and Michelle, we like to eat fresh caught bass. Okay, it would be awfully hypocritical for me to go, yeah, Obama, yeah, thanks for the boon, man, and to, you know, get all this money just to go fish for bass, because one guy made this decision without the Congress, you know, without the Senate, the House, or anything, with no type of, you know, legislative process at all. One guy signs a piece of paper and passes this shit. Okay, so that's basically what's going on with Colorado and Washington, why Barack Obama's decided not to enforce federal marijuana laws. Now everybody's thinking, yeah, Obama got something right. Oh, yeah, be careful what you wish for. Now, Obama also unilaterally decided to bomb Owl Liquor, whatever the fuck his name is, that cat over there, and his 16-year-old son. Did you think that was cool? Well, absolutely not. Look at all this bullshit he's doing with Obamacare. You know, executive orders. I say so, therefore it is. Is that cool with you? It should not be. It should not be cool with you that Barack Obama is deciding not to enforce federal marijuana laws. I wish that he would enforce federal marijuana laws. And you want to know why? This is the reason why he's not enforcing them, and why I wish that he would. Because the minute that he does try to enforce federal marijuana laws on Colorado and Washington, it's going to go in front of the Supreme Court, and we're going to have a nice long discussion about the 10th Amendment. Barack Obama is avoiding that discussion. He's not doing anything cool to be your buddy. No, he's not. He's avoiding this discussion about the 10th Amendment, and this discussion needs to happen. Now, I will say this on behalf of myself. I did not totally buy into the bullshit. It fucked me up when I first read, you know, what Cruz has said, but that's just it. I read what he said. I did not watch what he said. I should have watched it just like you should watch it, which is why I'm going to post the link to the entire video. And here is the pertinent parts, by the way. Check this out.
Let's take drug policy. A whole lot of folks now are talking about legalizing pot. The brownies you had this morning were provided by the state of Colorado. And you can make arguments on that issue. You can make reasonable arguments on that issue. The President earlier this past year announced the Department of Justice is going to stop prosecuting certain drug crimes. Didn't change the law. Didn't go, you know, that's an issue. You could go to Congress. You could get a conversation. You could get Democrats and Republicans who'd say, we ought to change our drug policy in some way. And you could have a real conversation. You could have hearings. You could look at the problem. You could discuss common sense changes that maybe should happen or shouldn't happen. This president didn't do that. He just said, the laws say one thing. And mind you, these are criminal laws. These are laws that say if you do X, Y, and Z, you will go to prison. The president announced, no, you won't. Those words on that law book thing on your shelf, pay no attention to those. And let's take Obamacare. Please, take Obamacare.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? That wasn't so bad, was it? Now, you take what was said before that and what was said after that, and you take it into context. Ted Cruz is right on. Ted Cruz did not sell you out. At no point in time did he say that people that smoke marijuana deserve to be locked up. So, don't believe the liberal media. Don't believe the liberal media. They lie to you. Look, you and I both know, if you're watching this video, you probably agree. The left couldn't accomplish a goddamn thing if they didn't manipulate people and lie to them. They have to basically sell you a hog to get you to buy into their bullshit, to get you to buy their brand. You see the way they manipulate their own people? Do you honestly think they're going to treat you any less? Any less? Of course not. Hell, you're the enemy. You're a Republican or a Libertarian. If you're a Republican, they hate you. If you're a Libertarian, they hate you even more. Of course they're not going to tell you the truth. Now, go to Google and type in these words: Ted Cruz marijuana comments. Look at the results that come down. Look how the left wing is making this to be something that it's not. Then go back and watch what Ted Cruz actually said and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong on this. Now, to further bolster my position, guess what happened yesterday? Governor Rick Perry himself came out and said that he's in favor of decriminalization of marijuana, and he's urging the state of Texas to move in that direction. Now, why is that important? And what does that have to do with Ted Cruz? When Ted Cruz is standing up in front of this, the fogiest of old fogies, the stodgiest of the stodgy, the Texas Public Policy Board. I mean, I already told you what kind of Republicans these motherfuckers are, right? He's standing up in front of them making jokes about Colorado pot brownies, and then he's talking about how if you want to legalize marijuana, then let's have this discussion. We need to have this discussion and debate on it, and then we can abolish the law or repeal it or make new laws or whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Smoke, smoke, smoke and mirrors. What he's doing is legitimizing the debate. Understand this. Anytime you want to have any kind of a change, you're going to have people for the change, people against the change. In this country, we have two main political parties, Democrats and Republicans. If you want to have a change, you're going to have to get both members of both parties to actually agree that there's an issue, that there's something that needs to be discussed. For years and years, for decades, this has been the problem with marijuana legalization, is that Republicans and Democrats both agreed that it was a moot point, that there's no debate necessary. It's a moot point. We're not going to legalize it. You hippies don't get what you want. Fuck you. And that's the way we've been. Now, we've got a guy who just got up in front of the stodgiest of the stodgy and said that marijuana legalization is a legitimate debate. And those people applauded him. Now, you think that doesn't have anything to do with yesterday? Rick Perry coming out the little weed closet saying that, yeah, we should work for decriminalization and urging the state to move in that direction has everything to do with it. Look, I've had Facebook friends in Colorado and Washington that posted pictures of the receipts from when they gone to buy weed. You ought to see the taxes that are being collected on this. It's like, you're paying for this much weed. Okay, I saw one receipt where it was like a little over $500. They got $300 worth of weed, and it was like $200 worth of taxes for a total of $500, and they still had more weed than they would have bought on the street. So it's like the state wins, the weed smoker wins, everybody wins, and you think nobody's noticed that? It's human nature. People don't mind jumping on board, but nobody wants to go first, okay? Ron Paul actually went first. He broke the ice, and you got other people coming in behind him saying that legalization is cool. Now legalization is the hot topic, and now Republicans, the Texas Public Policy Board, Rick Perry, all these types here, now they're looking at weed legalization like, hey, it could work. This might actually be a good thing. Look at all the revenue they're collecting off of it. And look at all the money the potheads are saving. God damn, everybody wins. So now everybody's interested in it because Colorado and Washington went first. And there's what, 19, 20, or 21 states that now have pending legislation to decriminalize weed or legalize it for recreational purposes. Hey, we're all moving in the right direction. Ted Cruz did not sell you out. Ted Cruz is the pot smoker's friend, believe it or not. And by the way, watch the entire speech. I got the link to it down there. It's one of the best speeches you will ever see, including this little nugget right here.
By the way, for those of y'all who have cell phones, please leave them on. I want to make sure the president hears everything we say.
Waka, waka, waka. That's fantastic. Hey, and if you're friends with me on Facebook, send me a message because I got a little bit factoid. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this yet. It's something that a little bird whispered in my ear. It's not common knowledge. In fact, actually, it's something that nobody knows. This comes from an individual who's very, very close to Ted Cruz that I'm pretty cool with. Ted Cruz is fixing to do something in 2014 later on this year that you're going to like a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. So I don't want to say it on this video until I know for a fact that it's okay to say so. I don't want to jump the gun on anything. But if you know me through Facebook, send me a PM, and I'll hip you up to what's going on. Get behind Ted Cruz because he's behind you. Anyways, this is William Brown. I thank you very much for watching. May whatever God you worship bless you abundantly, and I hope to see you next time. Signing out. Good night.